This is Michael Popok, Legal AF. If you're looking for gender pay inequality, look no further than Donald Trump and his campaign. He's got two campaign managers. One, Chris LaCivita. Remember that name. I'm going to drill down on him in a minute. And he's a man. And on the other side, Susie Wiles. They both hold the same job, but Chris LaCivita reportedly has been paid $22 million by Donald Trump, the Republican National Committee, and all the Trump PACs, while Susie Wiles has to get by with $685,000. Now, I didn't major in math, but I know that $22 million is bigger than $685,000. But let's put aside the numbers for a minute. So, or as some reporters have suggested, Chris LaCivita is making an obscene amount of money representing Donald Trump, and is standing ready to receive even more if Donald Trump wins, including a winning bonus. $22 million apparently not enough over the last couple of years. Now let's unmask LaCivita for a minute, shall we? LaCivita, a former Marine, political operative, started his career in Virginia, got on the national scene for the Republicans when he directed the Swift Boat campaign to undermine John Kerry and his military record, arguing stolen valor and all sorts of defamatory things about John Kerry, who was then the Democratic nominee for president, and his war record. So that Chris LaCivita. Now, Chris LaCivita, you may have heard recently at the Republican National Convention, where again, he is the chief operating officer and draws a paycheck. I mean, Chris draws about 6 paychecks, all from Donald Trump. I mean, he's on the teat of about 6 different Donald Trump entities, from the MAGA PAC, Make America Great PAC, to the campaign. He's got his company, a small little company that he formed now, getting a percentage of all the ad buys that Donald Trump is making. In placing them, that's how he gets this $22 million number. But at the Republican National Convention, during an interview with Politico, he said the following, basically promising that we're going to have 2020 and Jan 6th all over again. He said that the campaign for president for his candidate does not end on election day or thereafter, not even Jan 6th. He said they're going to fight all the way through the time that somebody's got their hand on the Bible, hopefully Kamala Harris, on January 20th. So for Chris LaCivita, Jan 6th isn't even the drop dead date. For him, it's fight, 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 and cling to power all the way until 11:59, and the clock strikes noon on the 20th of January. He just admitted out loud in a little reported interview that he and the rest of the MAGA are going to replicate what they did on Jan 6th, but even push it beyond. Maybe he didn't get the legal memos or the filings of the indictments that fighting after the election to ignore the election results and the will of the people are crimes. Now, Chris LaCivita is also interesting because in the immediate aftermath of January 6th, as now reported by CNN, he was tweeting and retweeting positions of, how do I put this, normal Republicans that were calling out Donald Trump for being traitorous, committing treason, and that it was a sad, dark day on January 6th. Particularly, and now, of course, all of these tweets and retweets and posts, the social media posts have all been deleted. But here's what CNN has been able to find, probably using the Wayback Machine to find a lot of these things. He shared comments. This is the campaign manager for Donald Trump that called January 6th an insurrection that was fueled by Trump's baseless election lies. On January 6th itself, he reposted several posts that harshly condemned Trump. This is according to CNN, suggesting that even some of his closest allies once viewed the deadly outcome as a direct result of Donald Trump's lies. He also shared posts and retweeted comments made by former President George W. Bush, who expressed, quote, disbelief and dismay at the violent assault on the Capitol, calling it a sickening and heartbreaking sight. Bush wrote this, retweeted by LaCivita, now the campaign manager for Donald Trump. I am appalled by the reckless behavior of some political leaders since the election and by the lack of respect shown today for our institutions, our traditions, and our law enforcement, read the statement by Bush that LaCivita shared. The violent assault on the Capitol and disruption of constitutionally mandated meeting of Congress was undertaken by people whose passions have been inflamed by falsehoods and false hopes. now deleted from Chris LaCivita's feed. Also, there's a video showing a screen recording of other posts that CNN has gotten their hands on of LaCivita that he liked, including from Republican former Representative Barbara Comstock of Virginia, who he used to work for, who called for Trump's cabinet to remove him from office via the 25th Amendment. She wrote, Twitter locked real Donald Trump's account for 12 hours. Now the cabinet needs to lock him down for the next 14 days. Hashtag 25th Amendment now, which is the constitutional provision for the removal of the president under certain circumstances by a majority of his cabinet. His only response, by the way, LaCivita was, "We're tweets and retweets are not endorsements." This is like boilerplate from the top of somebody's social media page. And we're focused on winning the election. And apparently going beyond winning the election on election night or a week later or Jan 6 certification, all the way till fighting, I guess, on the podium. I mean, I guess I'm glad that there's now new news that we're going to have to put the Capitol in a cage. We're going to have to put democracy in a cage starting on January 5th for about the next 10 days. That was a decision made by those in charge to protect the Capitol. So this is like, I've said this before, this is like a zoo in reverse. We got to put democracy in a cage now to keep the animals out. And now Donald Trump, you got La-Civita, who, when he's not talking about insurrection 2.0, all the way till the hand on the Bible on January 20th, and now he has to walk back all of the things he said on Jan 6th in the moment that tied Donald Trump to this heinous acts. He's got another problem. He's got a candidate who can't stop talking about Jan 6th in glowing terms. I spend most of my day in front of a screen and a microphone, and this used to mean I spent a lot of my day sitting. The research on sitting for long periods has been linked with various conditions such as poor heart health, bad posture, diabetes, and the list goes on. This is why I love Uplift Desk and their ergonomic desks and chairs. A standing desk can help lower your risk of disease, improve your mood and focus, boost productivity, and increase your energy. I use my Uplift Desk every day. When I'm standing up thinking with a cup of joe about how to prepare for my next hot take or podcast episode, I'm not staring into space. It's my most productive ruminating and cogitating me time at my Uplift Desk. And only when I'm on my feet do my creative juices really start to flow. The option to move while I work promotes better circulation, which can reduce all types of different health risks and repetitive strains. Uplift Desk helps you build your custom dream desk by choosing from over 100 desktop choices and hundreds of accessories. Their desk configurator lets you build out a complete workstation with storage, seating, wire management. Listen, when I used it, I had my perfect dream standing desk that I've wanted for over 30 years configured in less than 10 minutes. I had loads of fun configuring my Uplift Desk, starting with picking my tabletop. I went with a beautiful walnut butcher block, added white legs and storage drawers, wheels for mobility, and a number of cool cable management and pop-up and power grommets for my perfect custom Uplift Desk. I especially like the different control options and memory settings that puts the desk at just the perfect height for me and lets my wife join in on the productive fun when she visits at the office too. We've got a special deal and it's exclusive to our audience. When you visit our link at upliftdesk.com/legalaf, you're going to get 4 free accessories. Free same-day shipping, free returns with free shipping, and an industry-leading 15-year warranty that covers the entire desk, plus an extra discount off your entire order. That's upliftdesk.com/legalaf for a special offer, and it's only available at our link. Work better, live healthier with Uplift Desk. I mean, Donald Trump was just at a Univision town hall, stage town hall, I think it was in Florida, in Miami, in which he once again started talking about that Jan 6th was a day of love for millions, and that what we were watching was the day that the government staged a riot. I'm not even going to show the clip because I don't want to keep showing clips of Donald Trump this late in the game, but split screen. You've got Chris LaCivita the Jan 6, Jan 7, 2020 version, before he became campaign manager and before he got greased with $22 million into the palm of his hands, saying, dark day in our history, Donald Trump's responsible. And now fast forward $22 million later, with bonuses to come in the future, you got Chris LaCivita saying, let's just focus on Medicare and Social Security. That's what people really care about. This is old news. This is fake news. He didn't, by the way, did not deny it. When CNN reached out to him, he didn't deny those were his tweets or retweets. He just said they're not endorsements. Okay, well, if you're wondering what the price tag was on your values and your morals for Chris LaCivita, it's $22 million. That's the way I would look at it. Now, you've also got this backdrop of this struggle that's going on. And one of the reasons that Donald Trump is not doing well in the campaign mode and had to outsource his entire get out the vote operation to Elon Musk. You might be wondering, well, what's LaCivita being paid for $22 million? If his get out the vote campaign is so in shambles, they had to turn it over at the last minute in the last 2 weeks to Elon Musk. What were they doing? And that's the problem. There's been, for Donald Trump anyway, there's been a battle brewing between Susie Wiles, who, according to these numbers, is vastly underpaid. If anybody should be pissed by this hot take, it should be Susie Wiles, the co-campaign manager who's getting paid, 1/22 or less, 1/30 of what her co-manager is being paid, who's a man. Susie Wiles, if you're looking for representation, contact Legal AF. Okay. So, but there's a third person that's in there. And the reason that they're kind of got analysis paralysis and they can't get out of their own way is you got Corey Lewandowski. When he's not busy allegedly molesting women and sexually abusing them, he's one of Donald Trump's henchmen that thought he was going to take over the campaign, but he got into a battle with the former Marine Chris LaCivita, but continues to harp internally about their management style and wants to audit all of their books in the middle of the campaign with 2 weeks left to go. Is there any wonder Donald Trump's campaign can't get out of its own way? And they're left with Donald Trump having to do crazy town halls where I just watched one yesterday, by the way, where he did back in Miami, allegedly a Latino voter outreach where he had his buddies from Goya Foods, one of his buddies there, and somebody that owned a lot of gas stations. And all Donald Trump just sat there like half exhausted, like they had to put toothpicks in his eyes. And at one point, he literally made in the same breath, in the same statement, a comment about people who have gender identity issues, who are transgender, who want to move to a different sex, and fracking, the process by which you get oil from shale. Okay, this is only in the weird stew of Donald Trump's mind with these two things sort of reconcile. And so that's where they're at as a campaign. And it's no wonder. It's obvious Chris LaCivita is conflicted. Chris, you're in the wrong party. I hate to tell you. I know you sold your soul for $22 million, but come over to the light. It's okay. It's not poltergeist. Come to the light. Get out of that campaign. Be one of many Republicans that have converted and seen the light and joined Kamala Harris's campaign. Get on the right side of history and the arc of history before it's too late. But it's never going to happen. Chris LaCivita is hardwired as a MAGA. Who else would say, we're not just going to fight through Jan 6, we're going to fight all the way till the 20th. That must have been music to the Department of Justice's ears, the special counsel's ears. If I were Jack Smith, I'd put Chris LaCivita up on the stand. I'd call him. I'd say, okay, identify yourself for the jury. Campaign director, Trump campaign. What other jobs do you hold? Chief operating officer, Republican National Committee. Also chief strategist for MAGA PAC. Okay, you have a long history in Republican politics. Yes. How much you get paid from Donald Trump and all of these different entities you've identified? $22 million in the last 2 years. All right. Now, on Jan 6, didn't you blame Donald Trump? You blamed Donald Trump, didn't you, for what happened on Jan 6? You called it a dark day in history and he was responsible for it, right? In fact, you endorsed other statements by the former president of the United States and a former member of Congress. You happily endorsed those things because you believed it was true at the time before you got the $22 million, right? That would be my cross-examination. But we'll have to see what Jack Smith does. Again, as I've said before, I'll end the hot take on this. Jack Smith has an entire team of social media scrubbers who are scrubbing and scraping all sorts of statements. You think I'm telling him what they don't already know? They already got Chris LaCivita on their radar. He'll be listed as a witness at the time of trial, I assure you. And we'll continue to follow it here on Legal AF and the MeidasTouch Network. And if you love this kind of analysis, the intersection of law and politics, come join me at a new channel we're doing in collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network. We call it Legal AF. Yes, the YouTube channel. You can find it at Legal AF MTN for MeidasTouch Network. Legal AF MTN, the Legal AF channel where I'm the chief curator. I sit there and I bring over, besides my own content, I bring over some amazing people from the Meidas universe that you know and love at the intersection of law and politics, and some brand new voices and faces that you haven't heard from before. Join us, Legal AF MTN. Free subscribe as we're building this channel to 300,000 in our first 40 days of existence. So until my next content, I'm Michael Popok, and I'm reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.